You know what I super hate? When people are like, I'm gonna tell you the top 5 things that made my business explode. And all of them are software with affiliate links. And you're just like, for real? Is this really happening? Like, what is wrong with the world? So today I want to tell you the top 5 things that actually changed the way that I work forever and completely blew up my business. And not one of them is software. You don't have to buy any of it. No affiliate links here. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing that changed my business forever, and I am not being sarcastic here, was misery. Literal misery. What the hell do I mean by that? One thing I found in my business, and I talked about it in another video in depth, it'll be linked somewhere, is that the more miserable I got, the more I was willing to be brave and make changes I would normally be terrified of. But because I was miserable, that change was actually less terrifying than being that miserable for the rest of my life. So finding the spots in my business where I was fully miserable and really not having fun and really didn't want to do it even another day, then sitting down and figuring out a workaround for how to fix it permanently and never have to do it again. And sometimes that involved paying somebody else to do it, but most of the time it literally involved me being like, I'm not doing this anymore. Let's see what happens if we remove it. And nothing bad happened. Like, for example, I have not checked my email in years, and I do not intend to start anytime soon. So misery was really a game changer for me in that every single time something was really, really wrong in my business, it forced me to think about how I could bring serious change by literally just taking away that thing that made me miserable. And every time I did it, interestingly enough, you would think I would have lost a ton of money because I was taking something out of my business. But what actually happened is every time I've done it, we doubled our yearly income. I've done it 3 times now, and each time our income either doubled or was 1.5 times more the following year. And I can chalk all of that up to being miserable and deciding to basically be like, we're not doing this anymore. It's gonna look totally different now. Ta-da, gotta love that misery. Okay, so the second thing that changed my business forever is being stubborn. I like to say to people, if you are stubborn enough for long enough, eventually your business will succeed. That's pretty much true of everyone I've ever seen. So many of us are like, oh, well, I'm gonna do this for a couple months, and if it doesn't work in a couple of months, I'm gonna move on to something else or I'm gonna quit. And we think that way because we figure if we put that kind of pressure on ourselves, we'll get a lot done. But in reality, it doesn't really work that way. The way a business works is that you have to keep on coming and showing up constantly in order for it to work at all. In fact, creators are now saying that you need to create 700 videos before your business will actually start to grow massively. It takes 700 videos for massive awareness, serious monthly money, and major growth in a business. That's a lot of videos. And it basically means showing up every single week to make a video for 2 years. That's what I mean by being stubborn. Don't go into this like, oh, I'm gonna do this for 2 months, and then if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna do something else, I'm gonna leave. That doesn't work. That's how 99% of people try a business. And it's also why 99% of businesses won't exist the following year, because if that worked, everyone would have a business, and they don't. When you're being stubborn, don't go into it like, I'm just gonna do this for a short time. Commit to showing up for the long term. A stubborn commitment should be a year or longer. Okay, the third thing that changed my business forever was getting my schedule on point. And what that turns into is I'm gonna wake up, I feel really urgently like I have to work because I didn't get this thing done yesterday, so I'm just gonna work and I'm gonna sit here until it's done. And then you look up and it's 11 p.m. And that's how most of us run our business. We fly by the seat of our pants, hoping that we can figure things out as we go and that a schedule will magically materialize and show us how to work. But there's no one here to save you but you. So you basically have to make your own schedule. And then here's the tricky part. You have to actually stick to it once you make it. I found it really easy to make a schedule, block my time, and say, I'm only taking meetings on Friday, or I'm only teaching classes on Thursday, or I'm only recording YouTube videos on Monday. But regardless, sticking to it was actually the hard part. I believe in blocking your time where every day has one job and one job only. And if you're able to fill more than 5 days a week with jobs, you need to pare back, because it's not realistic that your business is gonna work if you're doing 1,000 things in 1,000 different different directions. When you focus your energy on one or two main parts of your business, that's when fireworks happen and money starts to really come in. So try to narrow down your tasks into things that you can do over one day, every single week of every single month. So for example, I film YouTube videos all day on Monday. That's all I do. On Tuesday, I go live on Twitch. That's all I do. On Wednesday, I have one-on-one calls with my coaching clients. That's all I do. On Thursday, I do social media stuff. I film for social media, then I schedule it. And on Friday, I have meetings and I teach courses. The only time I really actually get on Zoom is on Friday, and it's all stacked in a row, and I'm done by 1 p.m. So that's what a schedule looks like, and forcing myself to stick to it and not work until 6, 7 p.m., 1 a.m. is more of a challenge than actually making the schedule itself. In order to force myself to stick to it, I often add in things after work like exercise, activities, social stuff that I want to do in order to force myself to walk away from the computer. And once I got that on point and it started working, magic started happening. And I started waking up happier without worry. And suddenly I had the work-life balance I'd always wanted, but I had never figured out how people achieve. Turns out you achieve it by just making it happen yourself. So the number 4 thing that changed my business is kind of weird. It's when I figured out that I need to stop chasing the money. This sounds super counterintuitive because you would think, well, a business is supposed to make money because, I have to pay my bills. But actually it turned out that when I was chasing the money, so for me that was doing things like offering expert phone calls for $5 a minute about something specific, about Etsy, me making myself miserable for very little money. And because I was getting paid to do it, I didn't want to give up the money. But once I actually gave it up, I was able to focus on something I actually liked doing. And if I actually like doing it, I'm usually a lot better at it. Not to mention I put more energy into it because I give a Chasing the money may seem like what you're supposed to do in a business, but in reality, you're supposed to do what you're best at so you can give your customers your absolute best so that they're impressed with every single thing you do, which means they're then willing to pay you high dollar to do it. And ironically, when this happens, you get to take on less customers, but charge more. So you make more, but you get even more time back. That was like a beautiful light bulb moment for me in my business. Stop chasing money. Okay, the 5th thing I have in my business that changed my life forever is something called a kickstand. What the hell is that? A kickstand is kind of like a support system that you build in for yourself. Mine is a business text group of people who are in a similar place to where I am, and we trade business ideas, encourage each other, but we also call each other out on things when we're getting distracted. So if I said I didn't want to take $5 a minute calls teaching people Etsy, and then I say, oh, somebody just booked one of these calls and they want me for over an hour, that's a lot of money. My text group would say, well, you said you didn't want to do this and you saw major benefit from not doing it. So what is making you want to do it? And then I'll say the money, and they'll say something like, okay, what could you do in that same hour that would make you more money? Because we all know you don't want to do this, and that hour could be better used for something that actually makes a difference long-term in your business. And they would be right. In fact, it was my kickstand that taught me to stop taking these calls and stop chasing the money in the first place. And realizing that other people had the same problems and found ways to fix them. Meanwhile, I was sitting there complaining about them, complaining about the exact same problems, when I could at any minute just fix it myself. So having a kickstand built in that's a part of your workflow that's always there for you. You can always reach out to them, you can always ask them questions, but you don't have to take the mental load of figuring everything out yourself because your kickstand is there to help you do that, and it's just installed in your life. You don't have to think about it or make a big mess to figure stuff out or take months and months to get where you ultimately want to be. Or in my case, take months and months just to make a single decision. That's what a kickstand is for. They prevent that from happening because they're built into your workflow. You can just talk to them when you need them. So those are the 5 things that changed my business forever, basically got me where I am today. Without them, I never would have been brave enough to come this far. I never would have had the energy to push past the difficult parts. And I never would have known that I was capable of getting where I am today. If you had told me 5 years ago that this is where I would be, I would have laughed at you and told you to get the hell out of my house. Because These things were just not things I was capable of when I started, but installing and working with all these little business mindset things that I figured out allowed me to turn my business into something that even I did not think was possible. So I hope this video helped you, and if you're curious about my kickstand or want one for yourself, check the link in the description where I talk about mine, where I got it, and how it works. Otherwise, thanks for watching me blabber. I'm terrible at ending videos, so we're literally just gonna be like, hey, do that thing where YouTubers tell you to like and subscribe, but really it's stupid. But really, if you do, you're helping my small business out massively. So please, if you like anything that I've ever done, please do me the favor of hitting that like button. Otherwise, see you later. Hope I helped you. Bye. Thanks for watching me rant. I can't end these videos. I cannot end videos. I don't know how to end videos. Can somebody please send me a video telling me how to end videos?